GRC work has a problem that almost every security team understands. The work matters, but the process can become painfully manual. Policies need to be reviewed, controls need to be mapped, evidence needs to be collected. Gaps need to be explained, audit notes need to be organized, and a lot of that work lives across OS documents, spreadsheets, tickets, screenshots, and shared drives. So in this video, we are going to build a simple AI GRC agent that helps review policies, map evidence to controls, identify gaps, and prepare an audit-ready summary. Not a magic compliance button, not a replacement for a GRC professional, a practical assistant that helps organize the work and make review faster. Here is the workflow. We start with a policy document. For the demo, we will use a simple access control policy. Then we load a small control framework. Think of this like a simplified version of the controls you might see in NEST SOC 2 ISO or an internal security framework. Then we load evidence that could be screenshots, ticket links, access review exports, configuration notes, or policy acknowledgements. The agent compares the policy, the controls, and the evidence. Then it produces a report that says this control looks supported, this one is partially supported, this one is missing evidence, and here is what a human reviewer should check next. GRC is a strong fit for agents because the work is context heavy. A lot of the task is reading, comparing, summarizing, and organizing. You are not asking the agent to make final compliance decisions. You are asking it to help process information. For example, a control might say that privileged access must be reviewed quarterly. The agent can look for evidence of access reviews, check whether the date is recent, summarize what it found, and flag anything missing. That saves time because the human reviewer does not have to start from a blank page. They start with a structured draft and verify it. For the demo, we will use 3 inputs. First, a policy document. This describes what the organization says it does. Second, a control list. This describes what the organization needs to prove. Third, an evidence folder. This represents the artifacts that support the control. In real life, those inputs might come from Google Drive, SharePoint, Jira, ServiceNow, GitHub, a Jira, C platform, or a cloud security tool. For this walkthrough, we keep everything local and synthetic so the workflow is easy to understand and safe to share. The first job is control mapping. The agent reads each control and asks, what does this control require? Then it looks at the policy and evidence and asks what supports this requirement. For example, if the control says access must be reviewed quarterly, the agent looks for access review evidence. If the control says administrative access must be approved, the agent looks for approval records or ticket references. This is not perfect automation. It is structured assistance. The goal is to create a first pass that a human can review quickly. Once the mapping is done, the agent can identify gaps. A gap might mean no evidence was found. It might mean the evidence is outdated. It might mean the policy says one thing, but the evidence shows something incomplete. And this is where the agent becomes useful. Instead of manually searching through every document and asking, what are we missing? The agent gives you a starting list. Control by control, it explains the evidence, the gap, and the next action. The final output is an audit prep report. At the top, it gives an executive summary. How many controls were reviewed, how many appear supported, how many need attention. Then each control gets a status. Supported, partially supported, missing evidence, needs reviewer attention. For each item, the report lists the evidence, the gap, and the recommended follow-up. This turns messy audit prep into a cleaner review queue. There are important guardrails here. First, the agent should not claim that something is compliant by itself. It should say what it found, what it did not find, and what a human needs to verify. Second, the agent should preserve source links and evidence references. If the auditor asks where a conclusion came from, you need traceability. Third, keep sensitive documents protected. Do not send private evidence into tools or systems unless you are allowed to do that. And fourth, use the agent to support the review process, not bypass it. Once the local version works, you can expand it, connect it to real document repositories, pull evidence from ticketing systems, map controls to frameworks like NEST SOC 2 ISO 27001 or CS, generate weekly gap reports, create reviewer checklists for control owners, and eventually connect it to your broader security workflow so vulnerability data, access reviews, policy exceptions, and audit evidence all stay aligned. The key is the same pattern as the last video: start narrow, keep humans in the loop, and expand only after the workflow is trustworthy. That is the core idea behind an AI GRC agent. It does not replace compliance expertise. It helps organize the evidence, surface gaps, and make review faster. In the next video, we are going to build a threat intelligence agent that monitors threat feeds, summarizes what matters, and connects indicators back to security decisions. If you want more practical AI agents for cybersecurity and automation, subscribe